A major scholar transport blitz is currently underway in Heidelberg, that's in Ratanda, as authorities move to ensure the safety of pupils on the roads. This operation began at 6 o'clock this morning with law enforcement officers inspecting scholar transport vehicles for their roadworthiness, permits and driver compliance. Watching this story is SABC News reporter Nonhlanhla Ntshingila, live to us now from the streets of Ratanda in Heidelberg. And Nonhlanhla, we've seen similar scenes elsewhere around Gauteng over the past couple of days, at least in the wake of that devastating scholar transport crash in Vanderbijl Park. How much of activity have you witnessed there?
Well, it is a good morning to you, Ayanda, and to the viewers at home. What I can tell you is that since we got here in the morning, there were 10 minibuses that have been discontinued because they didn't comply to the rules of the road. But just to get more as to what's really happening, I'll be joined by the spokesperson, Offense Morwana, who's going to take us through. Thank you so much, Offense, for joining us. Can you please take us through what really happened from 6 o'clock in the morning up until now?
Yeah, we can indicate as a department that so far we have 57 citations, infringement notices that we've issued for various offences. You've seen for yourself tires that are worn out, wipers that are not working, the absence of fire extinguishers in some of the minibuses that are transporting kids to and from school, and we cannot just do anything else except to discontinue those cars. But in terms of there's a provincial picture as well that we also want to paint here to say, as a province, we started this about 2 weeks ago, and the numbers are quite disturbing. That in terms of the infringements, we are sitting at 3,100 infringements. It's a big number. We've impounded around 103 vehicles, that is learner transport vehicles, and we've also stopped or discontinued about 107. It's a big number, but we'll continue to do this operation throughout the province because we've taken a stand to say we've got to implement a 365-day plan just to deal with this matter.
Since you've started this operation, is the department happy so far? What is it that you're seeing on the road? Is there any changes, more especially after the incident that happened on the 14th?
Look, we are not happy with what we are seeing, with what we are discovering. Some of the infringements, if you look at them, those are obvious, mistakes that you would ordinarily think that motorists, even the owners of these cars, could take care of them. They are not doing that. But we are happy with the fact that our operations are yielding results. We are starting to see more cars being pounded. We are starting to see more cars being discontinued. And of course, we've also had a number of arrests that we've effected. For example, just last week in Katlehong, there was one driver that was found drunk in the morning driving school kids. We had no choice but to discontinue that car and ensure that the driver is arrested. So we'll continue these operations. They are not taking place only here. They are taking place across the province. But we say that it's a 365-day plan.
And which are your hotspot targets? Because we've seen last week you're in Tshwane, to be more specific, in Atteridgeville and also Soshanguve. And today you are in Ratanda. Which are the places that you're more focusing on?
I must indicate that we are targeting the whole of Gauteng. These things are happening everywhere. School kids are going to school everywhere in the province. So we are targeting, the entire province, just to make sure that we deal, just to make sure that the message ultimately arrives that law enforcement is serious about the work that is due. Because we can't just stand and look at what the drivers are doing. They're absolutely not complying, and they're aware that they're not complying. So our presence has got to be there all the time.
Thank you so much for joining us, Offense. There you have it, Ayanda. It looks like everything is going according to plan here in Gauteng, and they're still going to be continuing and doing these operations. And as you have said earlier on, we have seen some of the vehicles that they have discontinued, and also there was one of the minibuses that was actually stopped right in front of our eyes, and they had to make alternatives for the learners to get to school. That's what they normally do. They make sure that the learners, they get to school no matter what happens, whether they discontinue the vehicles or they impound them, but they make sure that the learners actually get to school. And it looks like even tomorrow and also going forward, they'll be continuing these operations up until they get what they want. We have seen the law enforcement here. They have been intensified indeed. We have seen the Lesedi local municipality, they were also here, and also the Gauteng Traffic Police, they were here, and also the Community and Safety Department, they were here, making sure that the learners actually do get to school safe. For now, I'm going to hand it back to you in studio, Ayanda.
All right, Nonhlanhla Ntshingila, beg your pardon, is live to us from the Scholar Transport Law Enforcement Operation currently in Heidelberg. For now, thanks very much indeed.